Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. As always, Dan Hafner joining you here today. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, my friends. Should be a good one. Today's topic is this: stop carrying the weight around. As always, thank you all for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. So, got a lot to talk about here. I'm going to try to condense it down into a halfway decently short show. But, had a couple interesting conversations yesterday with a few people and started to realize not only something about how we interact with other people, but how I actually act as a person as well. There were a couple conversations that I was a part of that kind of were like somebody projecting negative energy, right? And I started to realize something about myself, that I have always been a person, for whatever reason, that has kind of just absorbed the negative energy of other people. Like, just been someone that was just easy to talk to. Someone that was just like attracted people that was just like, hey, I want to tell you all my problems. I want to tell you all my griefs and despairs, which is cool. But at the same time, I never actually learned how to deal with that additional weight, right? Like, it's different when somebody actually is able to put something on you that's heavy and is, either a secret or a worry or a fear or an insight or something like that. And I realized that I never actually learned how to go about just being okay, that's cool. And then releasing it, not actually harboring it for myself and not counting it as something that is my weight to carry, my burden to bear. And man, I started to really dig deep and think about this. And I started to realize that, other people's burdens are not yours to bear. Other people's burdens are not yours to bear. You have your own shit that goes on in your life. You have your own problems, you have your own worries, you have your own doubts, you have your own things going on. We all have our own things going on in our lives. It's a mess. It's a shit show sometimes. I get it. We're all human. We all go through that stuff. But the important thing is to not allow other people's stuff to get or to take precedence and to add to your weight. You carry a weight around all day. I don't care what area of your life it is. It's actually an interesting thing I started doing here lately, and I think it really applies to this. I've started getting up early in the morning, and for one of my daily workouts, what I do is I strap on one of those. I have one of those weighted vests that has 20 pounds of sandbags on it, and I put that on. I put my coat over it, my sweatshirt over it. I get all bundled up. And then I also carry around a rucksack, a backpack full of 20 or 30 additional pounds. So I've been literally walking around with 40 to 50 pounds. I walk a mile or two every morning with that. And the reason I started doing that was to get myself in this mindset that if you start your day carrying extra weight around, imagine how much lighter you'll feel once that weight is removed. Right, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I think I weigh about 200 now. And I mean, adding 40 to 50 pounds on my back, it significantly slows me down and makes it harder. Right, I used to run with that vest on, and it's amazing what happens when you remove that weight. How much lighter you feel, how much different you feel, and it's crazy once you learn to take this weight off of, if it's someone else's weight, even if it's your own internal weight, something that you've carried, some past memory, some kind of something that you failed at, something that a dream you never accomplished. Like it's all a weight that you carry. And once you let it go, once you can learn to take that weight off of yourself, it's amazing how much lighter you feel, not only physically, but mentally. It's absolutely insane. Like it's absolutely crazy. And I know this because I'm literally going through this right now. And I've done this before, and I've drifted back into it. And you probably will too. Like you'll learn that, there are different weights you carry, different things that are buried deep down that you really don't want to dig up, that are huge anchors and weights on your life. And it's tough. It's tough to drag those up sometimes. But I promise you, it's worth the effort. It's worth it to let go of some of that weight, to let go of the additional things that you just don't need to be carrying around. Because not only does it make you lighter, it makes you feel better, and it's not your burden to bear, right? So stop carrying the extra weight around. My challenge for you: identify one area in your life where you're carrying extra weight around. Like, are you carrying literally extra weight in your body around? Like, are you just overweight and you want to lose weight? Are you carrying a weight around of like a past memory of something that like hurts you or pissed you off or something? Are you carrying the weight of a screwed up relationship around? Are you carrying the weight of a bad friend or a past, an ex-lover or whoever that has just weighed on you forever? Identify that area and think about what could be possible for you if you were able to let that go. Like, what waits for you on the other side of getting rid of that weight? It's crazy. Tomorrow I'll talk a little bit more about how to get rid of that weight, but just think about today. What could be possible for you? What could be possible for you if you were able to get rid of that weight? What would you feel? What would you think? What would your new reality look like? I promise you, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, everyone. So that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, thank you all for joining. I'm going to sign off here. This is Dan Hafner. Make it a great rest of your day, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.